Hi everybody, my name is Sierra Nash and I'm doing my career profile on marriage and family therapist. Um, I did some research about this and what I would want to do would be go into marriage and family therapy in California, but I don't know that many people who are in this career, but I knew one of my old professors did marriage and family therapy before he was a teacher and he just recently retired. Anyway, his name is Brother Webster. And we talked about like the working environment and all the little different topics. But for marriage and family therapy, you can either do like a private practice or work for different organizations like LDS services or like a career or a counseling center or things like that. Or you can, but what I mainly focused on was having a private practice. So after a few years, you could start that up after you have like a few years of experience. And he had a private practice for like 10 years, Brother Webster did. And he said that like it'd be a good career for a mother because like once you have like your clientele, then that's when you can choose like when to schedule appointments and stuff. So you could be like, oh, this day I'm working, and then this day I want to spend with my children, or however like you want. And he said like he liked it because he was able to like go to his children's like recitals or games or whatever they had for school, and he was able to like work that into his schedule and like was able to like have a lot of independence with that. Um, so it just depends on like what you want to do. So some typical stressors of this job are being able to establish boundaries between work and your personal life because that's pretty hard. um, he said when I was talking to the Webster, he said like one of the hardest things was that like doing that, figuring out a boundary, and so like his first couple years, like he said his first year of counseling was really hard because like he took a lot of that stress home and he took a lot of like those feelings home that he felt for those people, and so like he figured out pretty early that he like needed when he would get home he like needed to take a few minutes and just like read the newspaper so that he could like de-stress and then he'd be able to like focus on his family instead of on his work. And yeah, let's see, some typical benefits are, well, it just depends on where you're working, really. From what I found, like a personal practice, you would have to do all your own health insurance, and your financials and retirement is not included whatsoever in like a private practice. So you'd have to do all that for yourself. But you also make a lot more money in private practice than you would in like a counseling center or LDS services type of thing. And I'm not. I just yeah. And so yeah, it just kind of depends on like what you're interested in. If you would want to do like something like private practice, or if you would want to do like LDS services or counseling centers or whatever. Some common job task is like one of the main things is you have to be a people person. Like you're working with people 24/7 as a counselor or a therapist, whatever. So you have to work out well under stress and be able to realize that you can't help everyone. Brother Webster talked about how like sometimes people would come in with his problem and he had no previous background with that. So a lot of times, not a lot of times, but some of the times you would have to refer that person to someone who like specialized in the issue that they were dealing with. And you also have to be able to work with couples, families, and groups, but also on the individual level. And so like a lot of the root of the individual problem like would come from the family is what he would talk about. And you have to also realize that a lot of your clients have multiple issues, such as like mental disorders or physical problems, trauma, disability, and addiction. And so you have to be able to recognize those and address those. Some educational requirements. Most states require that you have your master's degree, but some don't, and it just depends on the state. So you have to like research that. Like if you're wanting to work in California, it's required, but if you're wanting to work like in Idaho, I'm not sure. You'd have to like research your own state. Um, hmm, so like some of the main things that are required for a marriage and family therapist is there's a state exam that you have to pass, and then you have to have 3,000 hours of like working as a marriage and family therapist or like interning kind of thing, or 2 years of clinical experience outside of what is mandatory for your major or for your degree. I mean, um, another condition with this career is you have to like during your practice, like when you're practicing or whatever, you have to like keep up with everything. So you have to keep up with your license. Like a lot of states require you to do workshops and graduate studies and personal studies while you're practicing. So you have to like make sure you're maintaining like the newest and the most accurate kind of therapy. Starting salary would be range from 26,000 to 30,000, and as you like become more experienced, that's when your salary grows. And so like the average is around 50,000, and then like 10% are making like 74,000 and above. So it just like depends um, on your state and everything like that. Some interesting facts that I found were like that the demand is growing in the next few years. There should be a 14 to 19% increase in like this job demand. So people are going to be looking for marriage and family therapists. And as of right now, there are 26 450 marriage and family therapists. And yeah, that's all the information I have for you. Thank you.